So I'm back with another good one, but it's also a sad one. It's a sad story. And before I get in the story, today is Fish Friday. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I hope that you go get some fish. All right? Yes. So I'm back with another good one, but it's also a sad story. It's involving children. How a grandmother and mother left their children and left their loved ones, minors, in a place of filth and nastiness. And the conditions living in these places, you can't bear these conditions. These are unlivable conditions. With filth, nastiness, dogs, rat, roaches, whatever was in there that these children's basically was living in. There's no food, there's no water, there's nothing in there. And the grandmother and the mother had these children living in there. You know, once you go in these conditions and this is passed upon you, you're going to pass it on to your children. Whatever your parents did to you, you're going to do to your children. 9 times out of 10, right? Sometimes it can go the other way where you don't do that. Where if the parent do it to you, right? You're gonna say to yourself, you know what? When I have children, I'm not gonna do this to my children, right? And you pray and hope that you don't do it to your children, right? Leaving your children in filth and nastiness and not feeding your children, basically, and running out on a night of town to go be with men or just living your life up, you know. In our communities, there's a lot of that stuff going on. So we can't point the fingers. We can't point the fingers at nobody because I know there's is a lot of mothers in our community, in our society that have done these same things, committing these acts on their children and traumatizing their children while going to chill with men, while going to have sex with men, right? While going to be with men, these no good men, and they leave their children while they go have a good time with these men. This is an actual true fact. So you can't point the finger unless you point it at yourself. You see, we forget what we have done, and we point the finger at everybody. And I know there's a lot of women that have done that upon their children, right? That go after these men or go after a life that they always wanted and that their children is tying them down. It's an actual true fact. And the process of the father not being there, that's been a big campaign since the beginning of time on mankind, that the father's not being there. That's not a coincidence. You know, a man is plagued with a lot of stuff that's going on, physically, mentally, spiritually. This is an actual true fact. And you know, this is a big process to talk about. But we're gonna focus on this mother right here that left the mother and grandmother that left these children in unbearable conditions living in this house. And I'm gonna show a video, right? It's really bad, man. This stuff is bad. And you know who's leading the force. I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to mix in spirituality right now with it. But spirituality does play a major part of a lot of this stuff because this entity does not have a family. He doesn't have children. He doesn't have a wife. He doesn't have anything. It's just him. So to have children, to have happiness, he hates that. To have a father, he hates that, right? And a lot of these conditions we say is dim, but there's a lot of spiritual behind a lot of things. There's a lot of spirituality behind a lot of things that happen to us as human beings. And I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm going to keep it real with you. So, but we're not going to get into this. We're going to get into this lady, basically, that left her children to live it up. Or even if she didn't to live it up, she left her children unbearable uninhabited conditions to live at, and filth and nastiness. So let's look at the video.
Grandmother are accused of abusing several children after they were allegedly left in a home without food or water for days on end. Thanks for joining us at 5. I'm Ken Rice.
And I'm Christine Sorensen. Lauren Linder talked with one of the suspects in an interview you'll see only on KDKA.
Take a look at this garbage right here on Emerson and Vandergrift. This is some of the situation that was found inside this home, where police say that 5 children were living in deplorable conditions. Now their mother and grandmother are facing serious charges.
Picture it being.
You know what? This is lies, because I lived in Pennsylvania. I lived in Pennsylvania, and Pennsylvania don't play those games of leaving garbage and filth around your house, because you get tickets. You get tickets for leaving filth and garbage and not taking care of anything. That means that nobody didn't call anything on these women and children. What was going on there? You see, these things, social media and these major platforms, if you don't really know what's going on, you get caught up in a lot of things, because it's all garbage, is unbelief. They supposed to have been checked this woman. Look at the house. Look at the condition of the house. Right? Look at the condition of the house. Look at my thumbnail. You can see the condition of the house is all beat up. It's ran down. Nobody's not going to go over there and check to see what's going on, because it looks like the house can cave in on you. You don't know nobody dead. You don't know nobody alive. You're supposed to go check on them. And then around the house is garbage. It's garbage. That means that the sanitation or anybody that's cleaning up the streets is not going to complain about the garbage being on the sidewalk. It's lies. It's lies. It was covered up. It was covered up for days and days and days. And people's going to lie. So let's check out this story, man.
A hoarder house with a real bad, strong, disgusting animal smell.
That's what Darla Updegraff walked into July 28th after Vandergrift police called her to stop by her grandkids' house.
Not a condition where any child, whether it be my grandkids or it be any kid, I don't see how anybody can live like that.
Court record.
First of all, you knew she was living like that. If you was her neighbor or you lived around the neighborhood, you knew that over there was nasty and dirty. You knew that. You knew that. And even if you didn't know that and you didn't see the kids, you knew something was up. You knew something was up. You knew there was animals there, and you knew that she was living like that for a long period of time. And I'm thinking that you and her got into a gripe, or you and her got into a fight, and you went and told on her, basically. But other than that, you allowed and knew that she was over there. She had those children, the grandmother and her, and that they was living in filth and garbage. You understand what I'm saying? That just goes to show a narrative of certain civilizations that's nasty and disgusting. It shows in every civilization, you have filth and nastiness and people that's bad apples. And people that's bad apples, man. So you allowed this to go on. You knew that that lady was living like that, and that they was living like that with them children.
Say her 5 grandchildren, ages 9 to 16, were living at the home on Emerson with their mom, 35-year-old Heidi Beer. But Beer had allegedly left them alone for days. Officers described that feces and urine from dogs, rotten food, and garbage were all over the floors, with insects flying around as the area was dealing with extreme heat.
They were hungry, they were dirty, they stunk. It's just disgusting.
Stop lying, because you knew that was going on. You knew that woman wasn't there. You knew that you and her got into a beef and y'all was going at it. So you told. You should have been told. You should have been told on her that they was living like that, living in filth and garbage, living in feces and pee-pee and doo-doo and everything else. See, this goes to show that every civilization is bad apples. There's bad apples in every civilization that live in filth and dirt and disgustingness. And this is a shame, man. This is a shame that these children had to go through that. That children have to go through that because bad parenting. Because you want to go out on a night of town, you want to go live it up. Well, a man, you want to go live it up for your birthday, you want to go live it up with your friends or whatever. So you leave your child in a home with filth and garbageness and with these nasty animals that you don't take care of.
And police say the only food the children were getting were the free lunches at Kiski Elementary. As for water, they hauled it from the home of their maternal grandmother, Leslie Keller, about a mile away, using old cat litter containers.
And the children were supposed to at least clean up after themselves, and they didn't even do that.
That's what Keller told KDKA when we tried to ask her about the child endangerment charges filed against herself and her stepdaughter, Beer.
Nobody has said anything to me about it. There has been no police here, nothing like that.
Keller says Beer deserves to face the consequences, also alleging Beer abandoned her children, and says she told Beer what she was doing wasn't right.
By being aware of that situation kind of puts you...
You knew your daughter was going through that. You knew it. You knew it. You knew your daughter was going through that. Look at your house. Look at your house. The flowers around her. Look at her house. Look at her house. You didn't want them children over there. You didn't want to bother with those children for whatever reason. There was like, look like some maternal beef and some maternal things that was going on between her and her daughter in the local neighborhood. You allowed this to go on. You allowed this to go on as a grandmother. That goes to show you what type of individual you are. You disgusting and nasty yourself. And anybody that's living this life and embark on this life, because it's murder, death, kill, barbaric, evil, twisted, devil, demon, that's a maniac. Lifestyle, mindset. You knew it. Look at your house. You got flowers all around your house. There's no garbage around your house. Why you didn't get your grandchildren? Why? So this is why the charges is against you. Because you knew that these children was living over there. You knew they ain't had no food. You knew they ain't had no clothes. You knew they ain't had no water. You knew they ain't had none of that. So you and your granddaughter should go to jail behind this. You and your granddaughter, you talking about the child supposed to clean behind himself. If the mother is nasty, it's going to teach the children to be nasty and dirty and filthy and disgusting. You mean the child's supposed to know what's going on? The child don't know. They've been living in filth since they've been born. Yo, this is sad, man. It shows the mindset of these individuals.
It's culpable as well.
No, it doesn't.
According to court records, Beer's boyfriend also beat the kids with belts, choked one of the boys, and even fired a pistol in the air. Updegraff just wishes Beer reached out for help.
I believe that she deserves everything she gets. And I will do everything in my power to continue doing what I'm doing to keep my grandkids safe.
The police chief tells me the investigation is ongoing, but it's possible more charges could be filed in both Westmoreland and Allegheny County. For now, reporting from Vandergrift, Lauren Linder.
This is all lies. This is all lies. I'm telling you, this is all lies. And they knew these children was in there alone by themselves. And they knew these children wasn't eating. They knew that the boyfriend shot a gun, wasn't taking care of the children. He probably was sexually assaulting them too. He probably was sexually assaulting them. And the mother probably was down with it. And the grandmother knew what was going on. And the neighbors knew what was going on. You see how people try to cover up because social media is there now. Now the news is getting involved with it. Everybody is a part of this, a part of those children, and fail these children. Stop lying to social media. Stop lying. We see what it is. We see right through it. We see right through it. And it's sad, man. It's really sad, yo. It's really sad. It's sad. Peace, yo. Peace, peace, peace.